What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to talk to you about Donald Trump and the notion that he is a Trojan horse. Um, I find it funny because I've been saying the same thing. I think it was Julian Dory put it out, somebody he interviewed. I didn't watch the clip because it's kind of irrelevant. Like I might check it out later, but I didn't really look into what his theory was about it or what his opinion of it was. Um, but I had been saying the same thing for quite some time now. Like that was kind of my explanation of the purpose that he's actually serving. Um, as much as me and many others didn't support him, as much as it melts my brain to understand why he built the following that he built or why people supported him or voted for him, as much as it just completely like it's hard to put yourself in somebody else's position and try to understand what they thought about when they supported him. Um, the Trojan horse aspect of it for me is just as simple as exposure. So that's the purpose that I think he served. No matter what happens, you're always going to hold out hope. Do you know what I mean? So when he gets elected, it's like you have no other recourse. Yeah, you can, you know, say what you got to say and you can tear down what he's doing. You can send warnings. You can tell people I told you so. Um, and I do it all the time. But at the same aspect, the best thing you can do is hold out hope. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, even though I'm 99.99% sure he's not going to. And I've kind of had this attitude with every president, but more specifically with him because he was the first. He was the first one that skipped the career politics. He was the first one that went from a celebrity status, a crooked businessman, and found his way into politics. Um, and to me, the Trojan horse aspect is him exposing the United States of America because that's all he did. Him winning is exposure by itself. The support that he grew is exposure. The popularity that I'm saying him, the popularity that he made politics popular. He made politics mainstream. He made politics um between him and social media. So it's like a double edge. It's two things going on at the same time. Social media is causing the uptick in political banter and political arguments and political nonsense. But him specifically, being the personality that he made it popular. Obama started it a little bit. I noticed when Obama ran, because he was a first, he gained a lot of attention too. Whether you supported him or you didn't, or you were somewhere in the middle saying the same thing, we could hope for the best, I guess. But that's when I really started noticing, like, but I just thought it was the skin tone element. And then once that excitement died down and you realize politics are just politics, then it will go back to normal where most your average people don't really give a shit about politics because we've known forever that it's all a lie, it's all scam, they're all crooks, they're all thieves, they're all full of shit, right? So it didn't, because then we ended up with somebody like Trump jumping in the ring, and his trolling on social media and his trolling at the debates and his just he almost filled the role of like a stand-up comedian, somebody that got a bunch of attention on him, and now we're all laughing at his bullshit online, and it's like, to me, the fact that he even got to run is exposure enough. The fact he won is mind-numbing. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's a direct exposure of our culture. It's a direct exposure of our country. It's a direct exposure of us. Like, we complain all day long. We talk about billionaires and politics all day long, but nobody as a citizen wants to ever take accountability for what they've done to allow it, support it, participate in it, and become it, embody it, the whole 9 yards. So we just pretend like it's has nothing to do with us, and we throw our hands up. But everything is a microcosm of something else. So it's like the same saying, how you do one thing, you'll do most things, right? So Trump winning was just that. It was us exposing ourselves as people, as a race, as a culture. And it was him exposing the country for what it truly is behind the masks, because that's all it is. It's the same as it's always been. It's a country that's predicated on hatred, jealousy, drama, entertainment, starting shit. That's what we are. We're the entertainers of the world. That's what the United States is. And I feel like we're the country who acquires the most, spends the most. Take embezzlement out for a minute just for the sake of this conversation, because that's why our military really has a lot of money run through it. But without that, let's take that away. We still have one of the best militaries, if not the best military. And I wonder why. It's like they knew this day would come. Not only that, not only do they want to be able to just dominate at will and take over whoever they feel like it and just make up some harebrained excuse as to why they're doing it, like right now, and all the times in the past, but they also they also get us wrapped inside of it all, because we are them, they are us. It's the same thing. We are a microcosm of our government. They're giving us stuff. Like, if we weren't, then the billionaires wouldn't be billionaires. We're no better. The only problem is we're weak. We're the source. We wouldn't be weak if we were able to be honest as individuals, one by one. All that conditioning, all that brainwashing, all that hatred for your neighbors, all that shit, all that need to be in the middle of everything, need to be in the trend, all that shit, all that type of stuff is what the billionaires and the business interests prey on. It's bad enough that they use policies and what's the words I'm looking for? Business curve, I'll just say, marketing, always being ahead of the business curve, like Silicon Valley type shit, right? That it's bad enough that they force us into these systems, but we don't have to participate to the end, right? It's like I said before with social media, like nobody's on social media to talk to their grandmother in Ireland. We're on social media because we are addicted to stimulus. We're on social media because we're addicted to our egos. We're on social media because we're addicted to being in the know of everything. We're on social media because we're insecure. We're on social media because we want access to everybody, including people that we don't even affiliate with or like. We're on social media because it's TV. Social media is TV. We're on social media because we want to impress the opposite sex. We want to, that's where we want to find, because it's easy. It's it makes it easy. It takes all the human out of it. It becomes automated, right? Fake, cliche. Everybody says and does the same things. We're losing the individual. But I'm actually, I don't know. And, again, I've talked before in my videos about being desensitized, but I am a very sensitive person, empathetic person. But at a certain point, when you've been paying attention and you're in your awareness, you become desensitized because this is the reality that you live in. It's not all bunny rabbits, kisses, and rainbows. Like, that's never been reality. And just because it can be reality doesn't mean that it is. And I'm not going to go around pretending like it is just to validate my existence being worth something. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to try to live an honest existence, meaning that I'm willing to accept who I am, my flaws, my mistakes, my past, my bad choices, what I like, what I don't like, who I don't like. I'm willing to accept that. I don't need someone else to tell me to have these things. See what I'm saying? But when you get us all in a pack and you get us all in everybody's face and each other's face 24/7 whenever we want, this is something that is not conducive to a united society. This is something that is going to lead to our destruction right along with the way the politics are headed. Because now it's like they're taking their masks off, but we got to take ours off. You hear what I'm saying? We have we have to stop participating in the fake shit, the bullshit, the lies, and we got to just break away and stay to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to be somebody who just isolates, but when you need to protect yourself and you need to protect your peace and your state of mind, you have to do what you have to do. And this is probably the thing that many of the neurodivergents, the high IQ, the people who you see them in nature and it's just like a beautiful thing to see. You see them do a piece of art and it's a beautiful thing to see. You see them write something and it's beautiful. You didn't know they had that in them. You see what I'm saying? They've been trying to tell us, and I'm one of them, they've been trying to tell us for a long time that society is sick. All the great philosophers that came before us, all the great scientists and the ones who respected the process of discovery and asking questions and questioning things and pursuing the harder things, the harder truths, the harder realities, like our gifts, the universe around us, how nature interacts with us, all that type of stuff, energy, the soul, the spirit, the brain. They've been trying to tell us for a long time that the world is sick. And my whole thing is, I just have like this deep feeling, like this deep, I wouldn't say fear, because quite frankly, I don't really give a shit. Um, but I have this deep, like, concern that although Trump was the Trojan horse and he exposed the country, he exposed us as a people, I have a deep fear that it's not going to change anything about us. We're going to stay the same. We're going to keep operating the same. We're going to keep lining up at the polls and arguing and picketing like a bunch of goofies. We're going to keep fighting each other. We're going to keep arguing. We're going to keep killing each other. We're going to keep abusing drugs. We're going to keep making the billionaires rich. We're going to keep going to the football games. We're going to keep ordering all the shit that we order, buying all the shit, whatever they tell us to buy. Like I said before, everybody said you got to have a Yeti cup, then turn around, everybody bought a Stanley cup. That's us as a culture, and that's what he's exposed full force. We're just a bunch of copycats. We're just a bunch of do whatever the next person does, do whatever everybody else is doing. And it's systematically designed that way to create pressure to push us to be consumers, right? That's what HOA and those little cookie cutter communities are all about. Because if you see Jim Bob pull up with a brand new boat and your wife looks at the boat and then looks at you, now you feel like you got to go buy a brand new boat. Fucking Sally and Susie paint their fence, and now you're sitting there like, I should paint my fence. It's like all this bullshit where we're just in constant competition. We don't thrive off competition. We thrive when we collaborate. We got shit backwards. We got shit wrong. Healthy competition, yeah, but ain't nothing healthy about the competition that we as a country have been involved in for many, 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 many years, generations. Ain't nothing healthy about it. Ain't nothing healthy about a bully culture. Ain't nothing healthy about an egotistical, self-absorbed culture. That's why I think it's funny that the big trend, everybody's narcissist. Like, dude, I hate to tell you, but if narcissism had a country, it'd be us. Wake the fuck up. If narcissism had a country, it'd be us. It's not that hard. Like sit with that for a minute. Look up the numbers, look up the stats, look up where the money goes. Look it all up for yourself, because it's not really a debate. And that's not to say that there's not good people, and that's not to say that it's not almost impossible not to be that way when this is the way the system is designed. But the problem is you have your own free will, and you don't have to stand and settle for something just because it seems easier and seems like you'll get along better. That's a mask that you're starting to lie to yourself, and that's how it starts as a kid. You don't really like the way the cool kids behave, but you want to go be a part of them because you don't want to be the one that's getting picked on. So you think if you're a part of them, you won't be the one that's getting fucked with. This is how it starts. And you go through society like this, putting on masks, but then we grow up and get a cell phone and talk about how, oh, everybody's wearing a mask, except for the person talking on the fucking camera. That's what's crazy. Like, there's no honesty. We have no honesty, but we want our government to be honest. We have no humility, but we want our government. And being humble isn't just saying, I'm a humble person. That's not being humble. We have no compassion and empathy for people, but we want our government to have it. They gave us the rope, and we've hung ourselves every single time. They gave us the rope, we climb the tree, we swing from that bitch every single time. So until we stop climbing up the tree and putting the noose around our necks, it's going to stay this way. And watch and see. Because that's why I'm saying, like, he's a Trojan horse, because he exposed our nation for what it truly is. But at the same respect, the Trojan horse leads to victory. It's not going to lead to, I don't believe it's going to lead to victory. And maybe I'm being pessimistic, but I don't believe that it's going to lead to victory for us as a people. I think it's going to be business as usual. It's going to go right back to the same old stupid shit. And a year from the next Democrat winning and becoming president, a year from that date, it'll look like the same social media. It'll look like the same arguments. It'll sound like the same videos, but it'll be the Republicans shooting down the Democrat president and what he's not doing and what he's doing and all that shit. And you'll just have that constant back and forth shit. To the people who don't participate in politics, because I don't vote, I just talk about it because, number one, it impacts me. Number two, it's my greater responsibility. Number three, it's going to impact my children and their future and their children and their future and so on and so forth. And I've been here for a long time watching this shit never change. And I'm a history nerd, and I've read plenty to see that it's never changed. It's always been this way. There's never been a time when this country was good. There's been points when this country tried to be good or tried to make headway, and you see the corruption come in as soon as it starts to happen. You see the sabotage as soon as it starts to happen. And we're partially to blame, because we're never satisfied. We're always looking for the flaw. We're always trying to tear somebody down. You watch it happen with literally almost every influencer to date. They start out and people are hyping them up, pumping their heads up, following them, liking all their shit, blah, 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 talking about how great they are. And then about 5 years into their success, now the whole thing flips. Now we play the role of tear this person down. We build people up just to knock them down. That lacks humility, that lacks empathy, that lacks honesty, that lacks self-reflection. Because you sat there and ate her shit up for all them years, right? So again, much like your government, what does that say about you, the individual? And I'm not trying to beat anybody up, but this is honesty. This is humility, being able to say these things honestly, humbly, and not always remove yourself away from everything like you're better than everything. You're above it all, even though you participate in it, because that's not being honest, right? So I do agree with the notion that he's a Trojan horse. I said it myself. That's why I was like kind of hyped when I saw the video, because I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the only person that thinks this, because that's all it really is. Now, again, like I said, I don't know what he thought about it, like his explanation. I don't know if it's going to match mine or not. But this is why I think he's a Trojan horse, because he's exposing us as a country, all of us as a people, and he's exposing our culture. He's exposing the lie that is our law. That's the biggest. And at some point in history, it might not happen right now, it might not happen next time, but at some point in our history, that is going to backfire. That's a very dangerous precedent for our country and our officials to keep on setting, where they're always above the law. They don't get in trouble. They can do whatever they want. They can break the law to enforce the law. They can break the law and get away with it because they are the law type shit. And that's not ever gonna be a good precedent to set, because the points of authority are small in numbers compared to the civilians that they try to enforce all this shit on. One day the civilians will get tired. One day the civilians will get tired of being lied to and having their lives ruined while they sit back and go without consequence. And that's when you'll see the real change. You don't have to be violent. I don't care if it comes to violence. I really don't. I don't care if it comes to violence. It puts fear in me because of my kids, but like, my kids can be harmed any day of the week. Accidents happen, shit happens, it's been happening. You go around saying it's never going to be you, it will be you. And I always think about the future, not just my future, but the people who are going to come after me. So until people either protest, boycott, or uprise in any sort of way, nothing's going to change. Their bottom line is money and control. If you want to rebel, if you want to change the system, those are the two things you have to attack: finances and control, because that's what they use. It's Pavlov's dog. We're not being ruled by an iron fist. We're being ruled by mental manipulation, brainwashing, and I'm telling you the house is red even though you see clearly it's white. And spending your whole life convincing you that that house is red. So that's that's where we are now. And it's affecting everything. You might think I'm just a naysayer, a negative person. You might think that, but these are all things that I've thought and spoke on and wrote on in the past, and they've all come true. So I'm not being negative, I'm just being realistic. I'm recognizing patterns. And because I have the education, it stays with me. I don't forget. A lot of people don't have the education. They didn't like school. They don't have a good memory, or they didn't care about none of that shit. So it doesn't matter to them. They didn't continue to learn about history, and they didn't continue to look into the brain and the mind. They just got out of school and went on running, went on with their lives. They didn't continue to educate themselves. And look now kids can't even write or fucking read anymore. You see what I'm saying? Most kids just consume and sit in silence, and they can't even think critically anymore. It's all going to blow up in our faces at some point. So I agree with the notion that Donald Trump is a Trojan horse. And this is the one thing, the one purpose that he served was exposing all of our hypocrisy. That's what we should call our country. The hypocrisy of America, because that's all it is. It's one big hypocritical country full of a bunch of hypocritical, self-indulgent people. And that's the truth. We don't have to stay that way, and we don't have to be that way at all. Just know that.